Guys, all I can say is this really is our last chance. Welcome everyone to another stream of Ace Attorney Great, Ace Attorney of the Greats. Hope everyone's doing good today. Hope all is ready, because we're doing another one of these streams back to back. And hopefully everyone can get here as soon as possible. Let me refresh my thingy real quick. Let me refresh. Let me get everything all set. Let's see if anyone's in here. If anyone's here, say hello. And if no one's here, then fudge. But yeah, today is the day we finish this case, I'm sure. Unless it goes on forever and ever and ever. But yeah, I read this line already, so moving on. Yes, I know. Yeah, crazy stuff is going on right now. Crazy stuff, and my phone randomly is not showing. My phone decided to show that I'm live on Twitch and not on the guide. That's weird. You're weird, Twitch. App and my phone app and everything app. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. The defense does not have new evidence. Bleep you. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett? Yes, Your Excellency? If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to decline. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order. Hey, Captain Chips. We live, that's right. We're live and you're first. Hell yeah. Are you ready to do the case or whatever? Because it's gonna be awesome. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is the new evidence that demands the court's attention? It's the report.
Yes!
It's your latest report. Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Yumei University doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as Curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense. Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it. It's almost like it was invented just for this game. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of Curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify Curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What? Order, order, order! Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, Curare has long been used by tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. Is there a tree like that in real life, guys? Is that real? And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It's dart frog poison? Yeah, that'll kill fast. No, it's tree poison. Not dart frog for some reason. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with Curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery. These aspirations are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and then the other diners would have surely noticed. That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible sign of distress is evidence that Curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor, but with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation, and all the while the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous! To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly Curare poison. I don't know, guys. This Curare thing kinda sucks. And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains the terrifying poison?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. Ahem. If I may, all these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught some... It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady! Hey, Hedgewolf. Reading, lurk. Lurk away, my friend. Read well, and enjoy my own reading. It's good to see you here. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest work, hard work, and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime, that really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. Ha ha ha. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett? May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Yes, I don't see, why not? Is that a wise idea? Giving her the bottle of evidence and doing exactly this. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers! Wait, what are you doing? Is she allowed to do that? Drink the evidence? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Nope, not allowed. Would she be allowed in the past, though? Because maybe the rules are very lax in the past. Goodness, whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. Inconclusive. Inconclusive. So, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? Ha 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 ha. You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Grr. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett? I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There has to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have killed over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke, we have all the clues now. A bottle of water. The bottle of water contains poison. Still. The culprit did cure rare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. Okay. Carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Fool, are you blind? There is no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think. I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed? The answer is this one again.
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report thing. That's not a valid explanation. No? After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. The impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest, I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. It will direct us to the pertinent section, counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to the riddle? That would be special. Excuse me. We've been hearing a lot about this cure rare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, wouldn't they? Or would they? Because of the poison. Good gracious, counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum. In this research paper here, under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seems a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When Cuirair enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effect whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you have authored this research. You knew the Cuirair's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little... Oh! Rapscallion! Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Oh, all this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how So, this ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with, some facts you read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? As even your brain has managed to deduce, Cuirair is safe to ingest. You expect the burb to be alive? Yep, I guess the burb is in fact alive. I guess we really just can't expect anything in these games, huh? Anything could happen. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric success. Succus. Oh yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Ah. That's right. Good gracious. It's basic science, science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand. No? Hey, DJ Drone. Sorry you're not first today. Captain Chips yoinked it away. How you doing, though? It's good to see ya. We're making some headway, DJ Drone, with this case. Order! Order in the court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, this Cuirair poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. Hey Bleach fan! You're coming in streams because you have mock test today in history? Oh, you're not coming. I gotcha. I wish you luck on the mock test, Bleach fan. You can do 'em, I believe in ya. What's up? Who's your favorite character? Who, me? In these games? I don't know. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey.
Objection!
Yay! His first objection. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there is no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide expelling evidence, as we now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Cuirair? I kinda... What is it? Post-mortem report... Medical. Yeah.
Take that!
As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference? The toxic effects of Cure Air are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poison water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you're acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You use that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. So, how in trouble is she, guys, for doing that? Ultima, will you do Among Us? Yup. Yes, I will. Yours would be Ryunosuke. He's pretty cool. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! What is it? What just happened? It's the English woman. She's just smashed that bottle. Into the Supreme Court. What a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible. At once. You're wasting your time. The delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we, if there really was a poison in the bottle, or not. You. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady? That's right, and really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me, so of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day, using Cure Air. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you had arranged for him to find on the floor before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Kazuma's your favorite too? He's pretty cool. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. What about this lady, DJ Drone? Is she your favorite too? Exactly. Or this prosecutor. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ugh. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? The girl and Ouchi is cool too. We had her, but now is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence. Give me a second. The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke, yes, we've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend on. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. Oh. Ketchup. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of this same scene in my head, could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Yeah. I think there's a clue. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe that smug smile off that Englishwoman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... the fork, right? There's only 4 tins, when forks normally have 3? Oh, the blood. Right.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes? What is it? Ugh, he's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. You mean forks typically have 4 tins? Yeah, I know. Hey, Stars! How you doing today? Oh, the steak is the killer. Oh, did not see that coming. How's your dope going, today, Stars? We're nearing the ending of this case, I think, maybe. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for a perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm playing Ace Attorney, so I'm happy. Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. Plot twist, the plate was the killer. It was the plate! What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood. What? Oh really? And what of it? Obviously that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything here. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, and as you were. Giselle Brett, I beg your pardon.
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused had apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... It was the girl for sure. We'll see. Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the surgeon had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it, now! Give me a second, lads. Okay. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered, the steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector, the blood, man. Show the court. Of course, examine the plate at your leisure. Well, well, well. There's the... Oh, no. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no, that's impossible! You just can't get a break, huh? I know I saw it, I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Tisk, I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire, I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch, but I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Can I do the examination? Let's do it real quick. Oh, huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. I think it's Meowth's coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. No, I don't mean what it is. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. Hey, Mafia's here! I haven't seen you in years. How you doing? Welcome to, case number 1. It's near the end of the first case, but still, how have you been? How's your studies have been? Your cursed homework. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion in bullion. And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Yeah, we're back, Mafia, with the Ace Attorneys. We're playing as Phoenix's ancestor right now. Never stop believing in yourself or whatever. Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way. I've been very stressed, but it's almost spring break. I know. So much homework. So many epic streams you've missed. I hope spring break comes soon. When is it gonna be for you? I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Yes. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
next week. Ooh, nice. You'll be able to enjoy all the Ace Attorneys. Oh, Mafia, look who's back, by the way. Or rather, look who is in this game. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied with that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is the new clue to be found? Just in case... Okay, flip the steak up, point out the Koban. He's back. Yep, he's back again.
Got it!
Oh, where does it go? I'm afraid that won't do. That was ambiguous at best. When you're asked to identify, well, how do I do it? It's just right there in front of me, I'm sure of it. There's only one thing to do. Save the game. Turn this steak over. I would love to. I'd love to turn the steak over, but how do I do that?
Got it!
Alright, I might need to look up a guide for this. This feels like I need to pixel perfect this. By the way, Mafia, I got some new characters on Genshin, just to let you know. Where on the beefsteak is this new clue to be found? Lift up the steak. There we go. Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin from the Hoei era. No, I don't believe what it is. I mean, what is it doing there? Oh, I had to lift it up on the thing. Okay, gotcha.
Got it!
Good gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth? A Hoei era one, at that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could have simply been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to the Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency? Yes, Counsel? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to this case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it was you who was irrelevant, even though I'm the one on trial here. Oh yeah, Ryunosuke here's the one on trial right now, Mafia. Phoenix's ancestor here. But I think we all know who the murderer is. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... you.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer and owner of Rasute Curio Kuretkuta-san. Curry? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military surgeon, correct? Sergeant, not sergeant. Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened, at exactly the moment the gun was fired. A gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoei's era Koban, my prized coin. Then this Hoei era Koban. Do you mean to tell me? No, please. Why would Korekuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korekuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back round to that pair again, but I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in this case. Did I mention that this is the longest case 1 case in Phoenix Wright history? What's this about? Why have I been called upon again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from the courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence. Guys, there's 4 people at the bench now. There's gonna be some crazy future trials, I'll say that much. Be that as it may, Korekuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this? Yes, that's it. The one, the very exact one that is. The resplendent, splendiferous Hoei treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool, put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. I found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices. Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly it doesn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my Hoei treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing. Excuse me, could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents has been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. Wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korekuta-san's Koban is all too clear. What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on the matter. Tell us, who was the despicable scoundrel that stole Karatakuta's koban and hid it under the stake? Who do you think it is, guys? I know who it is. It's none other than this guy.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Ayesa Nosa. What? How? How dare you, you monster? Monster? The girl? Shockingly not the girl. I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of the crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me, it was Ido! Ido was the mastermind behind all this! The baby. It all makes sense now. You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Wah! Clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap. Yeah! Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Ayesa Nosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. No, it was him, not the baby, believe it or not. Would have been a funny twist, though. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those and expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recent ended conflicts remains in place, and I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking office soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on my table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money. Even every 3 days I'd go in there and do reconnaissance for a target. And enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang! Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett? Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency? Give me a second. Okay. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well, oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. and good day. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Kid's developing his killer instinct. Yep, he is. He's preparing it for future phoenixes. Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? The crime scene photographs. The photographic print of the scene I'm taken immediately after the incident occurred? What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed, yes? Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did. She's a refined Englishwoman, English gentlewoman herself. Then take a good look at this steak, in particular the edge of where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Oh. Ah! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry for... Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, this will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to... I've heard enough. You irritating little speckled samurai relic. Spectacled? Of course, dear lady. What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have had for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that those teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the stake here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that evidence does not exist.
Objection!
About 6 by the count there, lady. About 6. This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward. There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit that piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well, I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about the whole affair? It's none other than... you!
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. The moment we all have been waiting for. Who is Dr. Watson's killer? I think so. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stake with the teeth marks. Yes. Now earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak, and as well as admitting to stealing Kurikuda-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the stake that you put the coin under, in fact, your own stake? Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier of the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentlelady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide its tied something in it. In other words, the stake that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. The plate that was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the surgeon switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates? Dr. Wilson, that name is ringing a bell. Or Dr. Watson. Not sure, if it's a reference to something. Well, after it happened, bang. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But that's when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman. I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, then that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one of the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable. What an absolute bit of madness. Oh yeah. However, fear not, prosecutor, son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform that is all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it meant he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosanaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the surgeon's. That to preserve evidence you had taken both. Yes! That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What can you possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you. No? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason that the defense asked to see that plate was confirmed by something the defendant remembers seeing. Tisk thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On that side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it, the plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir! Sorry for keeping you. Here is the other steak and the plate. Please, feel free to examine it. Does anyone see anything strange, guys? The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look!
Yes!
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the table of the plate, on the side of the plate, shows that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. Blood. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Breakout time? Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no! Kya! Oh, love it. And now there's plenty of chicks in the courtroom. Babies. Plenty of babies. Best freak out. Best freak out. And this is only the first case, guys. After this case, there's 9 more, just to let you all know. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. I know, the swan gave birth, the alive swan. It was I who took the professor's life, using cure air. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because curare is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. Where'd the babus go? Oh, they're somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe on the courtroom floor. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? So I was right. There were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up... Bang. Yep, you were right, DJ Drone. Pets baby swans. Baby babus. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Maruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd pick up the gun. You knew it was the future. You could see the future, Joan. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency? Yes? I wonder, might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. No. That agreement wasn't suspicious at all? No way. Not in the slightest. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement. This can't be. Taketsuchi Auchi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student. You better start getting used to tough opposition. Arg! Ryunosuke Naruhodo! What, yes? This insult to the Auchi family name will never be forgotten. You become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Would he be in trouble? Your cat is washing your face? Ah. 1,000 millennia may pass, and the Auchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Great Kazuma just cursed. Ouchie. Lol, he lost his samurai bun. Yep. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country has opened its doors to the wider world, but the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. Whenever or not you could wield the katana depends on the era. If this is Meiji, which starts around 1669, you think? Then absolutely not. Well, would he be allowed to do this in a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game court? That's the real question. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi? Yes? After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. You understand, Your Excellency? What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Absolutely, the series allows people to bring live explosives into court and to perform rakugo while testifying. Yep. Not to mention cross-examining parrots and whales. Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, heck, we can cross-examine assassins if we want to. Oh, yes? In you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. Woo! Hell yeah! Everyone in this freaking series would be under contempt of court for perjury. Nearly every single human being in this game, in all of the games. This court is now adjourned. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for the result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Gotta love a guy who has his own personal gentle breeze. Yep, this guy, our bestest friend, bro person. Your father, ah yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding on the court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Speaking of Mikotoba, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts to expose the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself, went to study forensics medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go, and cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. Okay. You have waffling about purchasing tickets to Nagano? Or you keep waffling about? Are you gonna go there, soon? Soonish? That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but what do you mean? Surely she's going to face her trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. Oh yeah, how high is Giselle Brett on the Kill This Man list, by the way? I forgot to bring that back. How high would she be? You're thinking of going there on the 16th, but you need to purchase tickets? Ooh, better purchase them then. No time like the present. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosonaga? She's been shanghaied? I guess so. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now, that we've signed a friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance to her. Your cat will hear her case. Oh, snap. She's doomed. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking the case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is the time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. Start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor... You're right, this is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delightful to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh, yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. Really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. Being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. Not all that tense verbal combat. I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is and that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times, like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and to stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom you can really be backed into a corner, but being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with a precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. Well, you face seemingly hopeless situations time and again. But you never stopped looking for the truth, and in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. That sounds serious. What is... You're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. You should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Woo! First case done, guys. How'd you like that one, huh? That was a good one. Alright, episode 2. The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. This should be fun, right? There's a boat.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Well, I have some bad news, guys. Oh, well, I'll tell you later.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
What?
Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
The dorkiest man in Britain. Oh yeah. something like that. So, bad news, guys. A long time ago, I mentioned that a certain case, the second case in the 5th game, was labeled as the worst case in the Phoenix Wright history. Sadly, that case has been overthrown. The case I'm on right now is the new official worst case in the Phoenix Wright thing. So, bear with me. That's all I'll say. Ugh, my head is throbbing. No, boy, hopefully the villain in this one isn't quite as much of a fop. You'll see. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? So, you wake up now, Oh. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You... Huh, you found me then. We found you, and now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. Is Ryunosuke going to be a culprit in every case? Spoilers, no. Definitely not. At least not for the first, at least he's only the one in the first 2 cases of this game, as far as I know. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend you do not know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. This dude is a bit of a damsel. Kind of. He kind of is, yeah. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. Well, I hope you didn't like Kazuma all that much, guys, cause, that's the end of him, sadly. And these handcuffs, surely you don't think I have to know, why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! The mentor never lasts more than one case, I know. First Mia-Fei and now Kazuma. Kazuma, it was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case into the floor. Thought it was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her a guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. I don't know. I've only been at the sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not the murderer. You said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but... Murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you, too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's really ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. Suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Well, little fun fact about this case, guys. You know how every single case has a courtroom and court battles and stuff? This case has no courtroom. It is courtless. So, yeah, enjoy that. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? Gasp. I know, right? Ain't that insane? And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. So it's like a phone, it's courtless? Courtless? That's a far stretch, Stars Over Hyrule. Very far. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. Yeah, Kazuma is the dead. So the next port of call. So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of an injury then. That's true, yes. About the incident. Hey, Foursquare! Not Apollo this time, Foursquare. It stars Phoenix's ancestor. This game takes place way in the past. And you missed a sword, by the way. You missed a katana. You missed a sword. But yeah, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you here. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I miss Mafia greeting everyone, by the way. That's another thing I miss about you being here, Mafia. Always a great sight to see. I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably, that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please, whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far on this voyage, but this morning he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply, and I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and when we managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-sama collapsed on the floor. And the white tape here now shows exactly where he was found, I suppose? I had no idea anything that had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Sama? Yep, Sama. Stowaway! Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself? Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of a cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. You know what happened? His personal white wind died, so he died too? Oh, the wind died. How tragic that is. The poor wind. Whoa! Franziska von Karma herself has followed me. How you doing, Franziska? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to a time way, way before you exist. How you doing? It's good to see you here. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Why does Susato look pissed? Kazuma is dead. His, my best friend, Naruhodo's best friend. Wanna hear something funny? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I'd ever seen it before. Susato-san, I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. Whatever. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me becoming guilty by association. Imagine a future Ace game where a mime is the killer, but since the mimes are silent, it wouldn't be able to testify in court. How would that work, I wonder? Knowing this game, that will be a future case. We did have the circus, so why not a mime? Am I right? That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. Last night. that would be a riot. It would. Make it happen. People that make the Ace Attorney series, make it happen. Oh, the characters just mime. Mime what happened. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in the cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. I was transported to a strange world with a white witch and a lion, and after that I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Huh. Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there was no one else who could possibly have done this. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Arg, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hi-ya! Oh my. What the? That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial arts form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago. You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, I see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. Have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of an awful crime. Paper seal. It says keep out. Duh.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same thing. He did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Dots. More dots. Well, even if you are spooled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to pull this sign back in position. What does she think I am, a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyways, I should make a start on investigating it in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Alright, let the examination begin. Oh, Foursquare. There's the sword. There it is. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says this way up in Japanese, which in hindsight I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm sure you're careful to look all around using bloop bloop, aren't you? We'll make a random guess. He's not dead. He's not dead. Who, the main character or the person that's dead? Is the dead person not dead? Yes, let's do that. Suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked that ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. The guy who was talking right now, he's not dead? Well, I think you're right. I think you're right there. I suppose he wrote the message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine. Suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with, but what does it mean, I wonder? Yeah, what does it mean, huh? What does it mean? What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appears to have broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It has sort of a brick-like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Strange. Knife? That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here? Now, I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate it on the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right, so we didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no! Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Ugh, now I'm suddenly having a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Talking is a good indicator of life. Yes, very, very true. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean... Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He might have useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered. Psst. Drugs in the food? Oh, maybe. Could be. That's Kamusa-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Alright. Whoops. This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat when he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. Didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though his last entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either, but in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? Alright, let's go over here and examine Mr. Cupboard here. It's some 2 weeks since we last set foot from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was I never knew what a member of the crew might come in, so yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe, and last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Alright. Still a lot of things to investigate. I forgot, like, what? Maybe something here. The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled up the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked, and everything mowed down at once. Right. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage? I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see it a mess. Okay. Okay. Ventilator. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside? That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in which the seas are rough, or something like that? I suppose. Maybe that's it. Oh. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, have you? I've no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious, and tall. Suspiciously tall. How long was he there? Good question. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. Doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And he is investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited? Either way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, if you press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sight and see what he has to say for himself. You can press A, kind of like a video game. Wouldn't that be crazy if this was a video game? Oh, please do. Yes. You. Mister. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh, this is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings. I hope I haven't kept you long. Ag! What exactly were you doing in Kazuma's desk just now? Cyrus chapter 4, done? Oh, nice. Well done. Therian's next. Good luck. Give him hell. Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. I can't do a good British accent. I apologize, everyone. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Iris' boss scared the hell out of me with 30 freaking armor. Oh yeah. That's a thing that person has. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the be-ribbon occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Oh my god. Hey, Charismatic Kitty, what's up? Goodbye, he was looking for the last 20 minutes. Alrighty. I'll see you later then, Kitty. Be well. I hope you enjoyed the 20 minutes of stream. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, we're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. This guy is an idiot. This guy is accused of being an idiot. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting to a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way I... Hiya! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing toward the foreign claims, you do find yourself in the most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha, there you have it, you see. What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes. So, it's really you? The actual Herlock Sholmes? The very same, the inimitable actual Herlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? Must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Yeah, I don't blame you. About feel the uneasy part. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. This is our Detective Gumshoe, no he's not actually. What would this guy be? He's not Detective Gumshoe, he's, someone else is gonna be Detective Gumshoe, I think. You know what? Just forget I said anything. Oh, I see, you're German. Herlock, was it? No, I have no her, I mean I have hair. Please call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits on the exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. You think Gumshoe is more relatable? More reliable? Poor Gumshoe. He probably is. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England specially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you've started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions to it in a subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of the muscle, a slight inclination of the posture, fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can he look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have turned both for the observation and for deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. He almost botched himself there. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in the most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Arg! The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Mr. Sholmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. Two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. What were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number two, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. Who made you think the victim was Russian? Or what made you think? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That's the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Guardrobe may be the name of the killer, a certain Robert Guard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you are acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people. I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma had already been taken away when I woken up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning has led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Okay, your deduction. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate, troublesome predicament you find yourself in? Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part. Ah yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary Vile, Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape his very true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No, 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 how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ugh, please. And might I add, your name does not appear on this ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. This can be no mistake. There can be. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article, Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself as a little memento of the great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Cool. And you may find the article on the back page of the interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay. Ah, hello. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I meant it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? Suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. I'm glad you noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh! I wonder what some of these Russian sentences actually mean. I would love to know. If there was a Russian-speaking person in chat, or just anywhere. I wonder if anyone's translated it even. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned Prisma ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of Novovich Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. Give me a second. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. Cool. Alright, one more thing. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Give me a second. Okay. Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic? And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know, what other people do not, yet believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. You can't find anything specific about the whole thing? Nah. Darn it. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susanoo takedown is. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belongs to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, Banzai, Mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can't read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged. My dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma's diaries consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I never heard of that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been added to the thing. Cool. So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah, do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No, there's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. So what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed at in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Orohodo-san, what are you doing what are you just standing there for? You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? Hiya! Is this dude short-sighted or something? He's something. He's definitely something, I'll say that much. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in the cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself, and I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Alright. Not sure what to examine, so... Okay. Oops. Stop. I can move, apparently. Thanks to that so-called detective, I'm even more stuck in this cabin as I was before. For the time being, I suppose I'll just have to focus my efforts on investigating in here. Whatever. Okay, give me a second. so I have to examine everything. Someone's supposed to appear in this room. These are the rules of passage for traveling aboard the SS Buria. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Door. When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open, this bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite the small bolt and not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel, a culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Good night, Mafia. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow or the next day or sometime soon. Thank you for returning again. Be awesome, alright? I'll see you again very soon. That's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thready trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Oh, look over there. The crewman? Do you mean he wasn't there before? Was he? That's what I thought. Why don't we try talking to him? Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose I could try. Examine. This guy. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help but feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes, what can I do for you? Aha, it's this guy again. I recognize that face, but it can't be. Yep, it's this guy again. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Is Inspector Hosonaga our gumshoe? Shockingly, no, he's not. Someone else is. Someone in England will be our Detective Gumshoe person. More or less. Give me a second. Okay. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Whoops. Oopsie. Converse. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility for what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that have even been a possibility? I'm not sure, But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Okay. Permission. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not. We really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. You think I'm a murderer as well? Would it be possible? You give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next-door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you try to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence. It's just the same with when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next-door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. See if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Okay, so... present. I'm gonna present... objection, or take that. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-san wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? Yeah, in what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? This is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that, but what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me, the ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. Ventilator clearly joins to the next-door cabin. That's right. So if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what that speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Hosonaga ain't gonna see the end of this game. At this rate, no. I want to present you with another reason why this case is labeled as the worst case in this game. When it comes to moving in this game, we go to a lot of different areas, right? In this particular case, we can only move to 3 different areas. This room right here, the first class passageway, and the hallway. Just those 3 areas for this entire case. So yeah, here's scene number 2. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in Steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous, even if he's just sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. Suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. Ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Well, let's do some examinations. There's one thing that looked, interesting. This. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan, although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called. I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. The mousetrap. It is the mousetrap. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. Oh, he's never had cheese before. Was cheese never in Japan, I take it? The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But, I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. I don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Cheese actually rather uncommon throughout most of the world. Throughout most of the world, huh? There seems to be a lot of it here. I mean, it's mostly, what is it? Like American cheese. We got some cheeses here. Don't we? Anyway, let's meet this big guy. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer! That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? Pretty got exact percentages, but if you're not white, you have something like 15 to 40% more likelihood of being lactose intolerant. Interesting. What is lactose intolerant again? I've never seen it or known it, so what does it mean? You little third-class lady's maid. Oh, you seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. Allergic to milk? Oh, yuck. Luckily not me. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman, Biff Stroganoff. Woo! The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Biff Stroganoff is this guy's name, guys. Wow. Mr. Stroganoff, about the first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Burya steamship for very important persons. The puns! The puns return! What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid Stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you into an ocean, but Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you. Thank you? Beef stroganoff, it's a beef and a noodle dish. Yes, I know. I think I've had it before. Oh, love it. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Da. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes, or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Passenger. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. The process of making cheese is pretty specific in most of the world. Europe, though. Effective way to have food that could be easily preserved. A good source of calcium, too. And there's many, many different cheeses out there, which I've learned thanks to the cheese shop sketch. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us what Mr. Roylott came, when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone in there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right? That is not your business. Okay. Are you on watch here at all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Da, all time, so criminals like you cannot come in, or get out. Yeah. Consequently, cheese is really common throughout European food, made in 100 or so different ways. Does not appear commonly in Asian cuisine at all, at least until recently. A lot of Asians aren't fond of the taste. Dang. That's unfortunate. I wonder if any of the Japanese would be offended by, like, ramen mac and cheese or something. Like, hugely offended. Or ramen cheese. You know what I mean. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hurt. Susato-san, did you understand that? Hey, Blue Thunder! How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. It was clearly, no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said, no. Sorry. It varies to food reviews we've seen from Westerners living in Japan. Some places do add cheese to their dishes. Ah, very cool. So it's happening. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. What's the deal, huh? What's going on here? This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh, it is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. I am doing good today, Blue Thunder. I'm playing this game, so I'm happy. Very happy. Indeedy. Yes, all right. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Tokyo in particular has a thing for pizza, but the cheese they use, USA, apparently tastes wrong. Oh, the cheese they use tastes wrong. Uh-oh. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing good too. Hope today was very productive for you. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Positively, E. Alright, look around. I looked at that. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin is steerage is number 3539, by the way. If we switch them around, we get 395. 500 and... How many cabins are there? A lot, I assume. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. Oh! What? What happened? You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. Unless the O was, a burn. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop, the ship included. Oh yeah, the 395. Oh! If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Knock knock. Dot 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 dot. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes. I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? And how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? Why, what pray can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Oh. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the covers. Give me a second. Okay. One who adorns the covers of the popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective. I do not trust detectives. You distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh. Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So, this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Yeah, sorry bro, I'm sticking around. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh, I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree, but there must be someone else who could help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Will they all be like this? Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Alright. Let's talk to the strange detective in the cupboard. In the wardrobe thing. Hey you, what you doing? Do you have a moment please, Mr. Sholmes? You'd only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe, whilst waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh, and it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on, for once. Observe closely. A Russian host in the cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course, though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards is so closely exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I'm about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Kind of wish this wasn't happening now, but screw it. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From the time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Hi-bye. Hey, Minim. Bar Minim. See you next time. And hello. And see ya. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh, I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of someone most dear. Are you not? And number 2, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at the very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tensions as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ah! Oh, Naruhodo-san! Never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylot's face. Looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I accordingly invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. It stinks that this has to happen right now when the stream is almost done. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place, is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. The question that's begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular, the fascinating front-page article, which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Vaylin Borshkevich flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Vaylin Borshkevich. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. So, what'd you think of that, guys? Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the figurative glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes, yes, the traveling case. Interesting style. Now if only he wasn't horribly wrong half the time. I wouldn't say half the time. Like, most of the time, I hate to say. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup de duel betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of the newspaper. From there, for there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Nova Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma, Elementsky. And with that, guys, I gotta end the stream here, sadly. I would recommend being here tomorrow, or not tomorrow, when I next stream this as soon as possible. Because we've only seen one half of this thing. Immediately when we start this game up again on Sunday, we'll see the other half, where things get even more crazy. Have a good one. Bye, Blue Thunder. Bye, Hedgewolf. Bye, Captain Chips. Bye, Francisca Von Karma, if you're still here. And goodbye, everyone else who I forgot to name who is currently here. You all be well, be awesome, and I'll see all of you on the tomorrows. Bye-bye!